As we begin today's proceedings, I invite you to stand for the singing of the national anthem of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, followed by the invocation by Dr. Paul Crooks. And we are going to sing the national anthem, so you can raise your lovely voices.
Forged from the love of liberty in the fires of hope and prayer, with boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare. Side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land, we pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation.
Dr. Crooks.
Please bow all heads and close all eyes. Our Heavenly Father, we invite your presence at today's ceremony. We ask that you grant safe and prompt transportation for those still on their way and for all of us on our departure. We also ask for wisdom, strength, and grace for those who lead as we discuss the plans necessary and are directed down the path towards food sovereignty on the island. Please continue to provide health for our farmers and producers across the island and country as they do their vital work. Thank you for your kindness and mercies, and all these we ask in your name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Dr. Crooks. Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated. Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly, Honorable Farley Chavez Augustine, who will join us shortly. Secretary of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development, Assemblyman Nathisha Charles Pantin. Other secretaries of the Tobago House of Assembly, Assistant Secretary of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development, Assemblyman Nigel Tate. Assistant Secretary in the Office of the Chief Secretary and Area Representative for Buku Mount Pleasant, Assemblyman Sonny Craig. Other Assistant Secretaries of the Tobago House of Assembly, Administrator Mr. Julian Skeet, Technical Officer Mrs. Cheryl Ramrup Sahadio, Chairman of the Mega Farms Project and Project Manager Mr. James Trotman, Chairman of the Tobago Agri-Technology Services Limited or TAGS, Miss Elisa James, President of the Tobago Agro-Processors Association, Mr. Carlon Kennedy, members of staff, stakeholders, other specially invited guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning again.
Good morning.
It is a pleasure to welcome you to this meaningful occasion, the official handover ceremony of the newly upgraded Agri-Technology Training Center here in Buku. I am Davia Chambers and I will take you through this morning's program. We are gathered to mark a transformation. Ladies and gentlemen, what began as the Tobago Fisheries Training Center back in 2014 has now evolved into a more expansive, purpose-driven hub for agriculture, fisheries, and forestry training. This is a moment of progress and commitment to building a stronger, more resilient food system in Tobago. And I think that is worthy of a round of applause. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, to bring the formal welcome, on behalf of the Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development, please welcome Administrator of the Division, Mr. Julian Skeets.
Allow me to take this opportunity to recognize Secretary for the Division, Assemblyman Natisha Charles Pantin, our project manager, senior project manager within the division, Mr. James Trotman, the Chief Secretary that we're expecting quite shortly, and certainly to stand on the established protocol on this warm, sunny Monday morning. Good morning to each and every one of you. It is certainly my pleasure to officially welcome you here today to this handing over ceremony of the newly upgraded Agri-Technology Training Center, as the host would have mentioned, formerly known as the Tobago Fisheries Training Facility. This facility has been reimagined and expanded beyond its original focus, and it will now serve as a broader group of stakeholders across agriculture, fisheries, forestry, delivering specialized training and introducing modern innovations to strengthen these vital sectors. This event marks a meaningful milestone in our division's ongoing work to improve food security here on the island and to empower Tobago's agriculture sector. By entrusting this facility to the Tobago Agri-Technology Services Limited, TAGS, we are reinforcing our commitment to innovation, capacity building, and sustained support for the people who feed and care for this island. In addition to managing the facility, TAGS will lead the way in introducing and teaching modern farming technologies to our stakeholders, technologies that can greatly increase their yield, reduce waste, and help them better adapt to a rapidly evolving climate and marketplace. Their role is integral in ensuring that all producers are better equipped to thrive in a modern agricultural environment. Also today, we are presenting letters of intent to a group of farmers participating in the division's Mega Farming Development Program, a project that will soon see the construction of advanced shade houses on the site for their use. These farmers will be among the first to benefit from training provided at this newly upgraded center, helping them to maximize their potential under this new model of structured, technology-driven farming. And most certainly I will allow Secretary a little later on to give you further insights on that matter. The impact of this center cannot be overstated. It represents an investment in people, innovation, and long-term sustainability. It will improve productivity, reduce our reliance on imports, and move us closer to a secure and self-sufficient Tobago. I want to take this opportunity on behalf of the division in extending a warm welcome to thank each and every one of you, our partners who are involved in an initiative like this. I want you to give yourselves a round of applause. Because by my information and research, we have come very far with where we are at today. I want to also commend our heads of departments and members of staff. I want you to give yourselves a round of applause. And our stakeholders for indeed making today possible. May we continue to work together to build that thriving modern agricultural sector that meets the needs of our island and its people to the very best of our ability. Once again, I wish to warmly welcome you here today. I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Skeet. At this time, representing the Tobago Agri-Technology Services and a very critical partner in this journey, please welcome its chairman, Ms. Elisa James, to deliver remarks.
Good morning, everyone. All protocols have been observed. So, it is a privilege for me to stand here before you today as we unveil a bold and transformative initiative, the Agri-Technology Training Center. This facility marks as a new era and farming for fisherfolk and farmers in Tobago, where innovation and technology will seamlessly bridge the gap between traditional practices and modern advancements. At the heart of this center lies a mission rooted in sustainability, growth, and empowerment. The Tobago Agri-Technology Services Limited, also known as TAGS, is entrusted with managing this facility and is committed to advancing modern agricultural practices to increase productivity and ensure food security. To support this vision, the Agri-Technology Training Center has been repurposed to fulfill and optimize its resources. With dedicated training spaces, the center provides hands-on learning opportunities, equipping stakeholders with the practical skills and technological expertise. Beyond these resources, TAGS is expanding its initiatives to include shade houses and hydroponic systems on the outdoor spaces. These additions will promote practical agricultural training, further strengthening Tobago's farming and food production landscape. Looking ahead, TAGS is committed to utilizing every asset on this compound to its fullest potential. Our goal is clear: to equip all fisherfolk and farmers in Tobago with the services, training, and technological expertise needed to thrive. As we step into the future, TAGS is actively planning. We are planning training programs for fisherfolk, ensuring that they can apply the technology to their operations. Hydroponics and shade houses will be implemented across our outdoor spaces, as well as youth and community engagement initiatives to inspire the next generation and understand and embrace the essential connection between agriculture and technology. At TAGS, we believe agriculture is more than production. It is innovation and progress. This facility embodies a vision to integrate technology and agriculture while actively engaging our stakeholders. It reflects our commitment to embrace productivity and efficiency, ensuring Tobago's agricultural sector is prepared for the future and set to thrive. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us embrace this change and to make this Agri-Technology Training Center a leading force for agricultural transformation. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. James. Moving right along, we'll hear an overview now of the Agro Park, from Mr. James Trotman, Chairperson of the Mega Farming Committee. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome him to the lectern.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Allow me to stand on established protocols. Today, I will be wearing two hats. Firstly, that of Senior Project Manager in the Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development. and also the chairman of the Mega Farming Development Program Coordinating Executive Committee. As project manager, I will highlight some of the activities that took place on this project, thus allowing this building to become functional once again. And clearly, you all would have seen the screen earlier as I get more into it. As chairman of the Mega Farming Development Program Coordinating Executive Committee, I will give a brief background on the Mega Farming Development Program, the concept of the program, our development framework to achieve our mandate, a guide of the Friendship Agro-Park design, and finally make mention of the first successful cohorts of the Mega Farming Development Program for Friendship. Don't worry, I will be short. It won't sound long. Right, so as it relates to the repairs to this facility, let me begin at the point where the secretary for the division was looking for a home for the Agri-Technology company. After looking around, in the final analysis, this building, this compound, was considered most ideal. This is because this building was once used for training various individuals in seacraft. But there came a point where this building was no longer being used, and as such, the building fell into disrepair. So, a portion of the retaining wall cracked and was falling apart. The entrance gate fell off, and it became a free-for-all entering the compound. Fishing vessels, buoys, and other fishing items were indiscriminately stored on the compound. There were no accommodation for security. The interior of the building had stuff packed everywhere. A portion of the ceiling was falling apart, along with missing ceiling tiles in some areas. There were sporadic leaks to the roof. The toilets were non-functional due to a ruptured sewer line, among other defects. Today, I am happy to report that the retaining wall was repaired along with the entrance gates. A new security booth was constructed for security usage. The vessels and buoys are now neatly stored. The main building was gutted to facilitate repair works. The ceiling was repaired along with the leaking areas on the roof. The building floor was upgraded with SPC floor finish on the first floor and latex paint on the ground floor. The kitchen was upgraded with new cabinetry, sinks and faucets. The sewer line was repaired, and there was general painting and electrical works done to the facility. And as I said, I would not be long. So finally, let me say that you will notice some of these improvements as we look around later, keeping in mind that we have more work to do on this compound. At this time, allow me to give a brief presentation on the Mega Farming Development Program at Friendship. Now my position is strange, as my glasses could only read close up, right? Right, so the Mega Farming Development Program Committee. Right? I think I would want to go a little closer so that I can see, right? So just a little background everyone can hear me, right?
Yes.
Right, so in 2003, the Chief Secretary budget statement alluded to the creation of 2 mega farms to derive the following benefits: economic efficiency, to make food available to all Tobagonians at cheaper price; high yields and food production, to ensure food security and food sovereignty for the island; employment generation, to ensure that agriculture becomes attractive to both existing and aspiring entrepreneurs. In September 2003, under the Secretary for the Division, Mrs. Natisha Charles Pantin, a committee of 10 members was formed, with each member having a particular knowledge base to achieve the mandate set by the Chief Secretary. Right, so this is the list of members, not very important today. We can move on, right? So basically the concept of Tobago mega farming is simple. We understand that Tobago is small, it is hilly, and it has valleys. And therefore to achieve 100 acres of active production in one area will be difficult. And therefore, we seek to recommend an amalgamation of existing farmers and new farmers so that we can achieve 100 acres of active production in both livestock and crops. Certainly, the committee aims to incorporate advanced technology, as stated by tags, and a business-oriented approach to the program. And most importantly, all partners within the mega farming program will be required to adhere to set quality standard, follow set standard operating procedures, and achieve set production goals. Because we want to create a product of quality, right? And we want to be consistent as well. The commodities that the mega farming program intends to focus on, we have identified 34 commodities, and as time goes on, obviously we are going to look at more areas. So for now, it's crop farming, livestock farming, dairy farming, aquaculture, and shade house farming. And this is the list of the 34 commodities. Boilers, layers, we have crops, cassava, dasheen, short crop like hot peppers, dasheen, leaves, lettuce, and others, pineapple, pawpaw, onion, and so on, right? Our framework is simple, right? So the mandate or the strategy for the mega farming program is to promote food security, promote food sovereignty. Our objective to establish 2 mega farms, to increase access to food production. The components of that would be livestock and crops, modernization and expansion of existing farms, and obviously the creation of the agro park at Friendship. Right, so here we are for the layout of the agro park. So the agro park is on 20 acres of land gifted to us by land management, and we seek to maximize it as best as possible. So on the farm we have 48 shade houses and 8 model farm or homestead, which is about one acre each. And there is we also have a commercial space where we will have offices set up, many market and also processing area. Right, so this is a clear view of the last layout. Right, so on a vertical view, the shade houses is more on the northern side, and we have the model farm or open crop farming on the southern end, along with our commercial building. Again, we want the farm to have some aesthetic, so it will be neatly laid out, well built, so that one can feel comfortable coming to the farm and working on the farm. Right? Now this is not the farm. This is just me putting a picture there to show what the farm could, but look like.
If you utilize.
Yes. Right. So sustainable benefit of indoor farming. We have space saving. Plants can be grown in vertical layers, allowing for less land use compared to traditional agriculture. Water saving. Vertical planting often results in the use of hydroponic system, which consumes significantly less water than traditional farming. No pesticides. Since crops are grown indoors in a controlled environment, there will be less need for pesticide, leading to higher and safer crops. Higher yields is achieved per square foot due to growing year-round in a controlled environment, and there are other advantages as well. Right? So in closing, today we are going to issue a letter of intent for those successful individuals, and most likely we will get started soon on that project. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Trotman. And before we continue, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of our Deputy Chief Secretary and Secretary of Health, Wellness and Social Protection, Dr. Faith Brebner. Ladies and gentlemen, I now invite Mr. Carlon Kennedy, who is the President of the Tobago Agro-Processors Association, to share brief remarks. Please welcome him.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Great. Good morning, everyone. All protocols observed. I would like to share firstly the initiative of the division. It is one that is very great. From the agro-processing perspective, it is one that is a great initiative because as an agro-processor, you need raw materials from Tobago, and Tobago we have a challenge where farmers not being able to produce the quality of the produce that they make, as well we have an issue in terms of cost when we have to buy wholesale. So this initiative that the division has undertaken, I'm hoping that it would allow agro-processors to be able to get the supply that we need at a reasonable pricing from farmers so that we can create that value-added product. For example, we have agro-processors today from Tobago exporting to places like Dominica, exporting to regionally as well as international spaces. But where do we get our raw material from? We get raw material from Trinidad when we can't get it in Tobago. So in order for us to be able to support Tobago farmers, then Tobago farmers have to have capacity to be able to supply. And with that synergy being formed between agro-processors and farmers, then it will do good for the Tobago space, for the farmers, as agro-processors being able to create that capacity through exports. It will create a higher demand for farmers, so that therefore there will be an all-round benefit in Tobago space. So I just want to again congratulate the division for this initiative, and we are hoping that even with the processing facility, it will be able to aid agro-processors as well in this space to increase their capacity as well. So I want to thank you very much again for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kennedy. And now we'll have greetings from the area representative for Buku Mount Pleasant, Assemblyman Sonny Craig. Assemblyman Craig.
A pleasant good morning. Good morning. Let me stand on the protocols already observed. Anytime they ask you to go to a function and the person representing the area has a name like Sonny, look at your wardrobe again before you leave home. I'm so happy to see so many of you in the best district in Tobago. Thank you. I got more laughter than applause. I take that personally. When the chief secretary uses that line, he gets applause. Nonetheless, so happy to see all of you. I'm not going to pretend to be technologically sound on some of these farming concepts. I know farming from a different angle. My mother and father are from Lekoto. Coming from Lekoto, they were farmers. And when Daddy came to Buku, back in the 1960s late, we did farming in the estate right across from where we are seated now. As fate would have it, he was a fisherman. He did crop farming. Yeah, my phone. And he also, he was a fisherman, a crop farmer, and he did it all. He did it all, coming out of Lekoto. Yeah. So when I'm talking historical data and you hear a phone ringtone like that, you know, I know it's my phone. Right? So I remember being on the beach with him right here in Buku Beach, and he used to throw his line. He used to convert the roll on the nylon to a flit, what you call a shell tox tin. And you would swing your line. And when you release, you point the tin to the ocean and it would go out quickly. That's fishing in those days. I remember driving across Grange Bay. And in those days, you look out to sea and you could see lights on the horizon. Those were the fishermen, because in those days, they used to row to go out. There were not very many fishermen who had engines. All right? I'm not that old, but I'm telling you what I witnessed. I also witnessed like when guys came to purchase cows from Daddy, men would fight with these massive bulls to get them into the housing, to take them to the butcher shop, almost like if the cows knew their destiny. So much resistance. And it's only yesterday I learned that there are shocking devices they use now. So as the cow is approaching the area, you could just touch it and it would motivate it right into the housing area, onto its destiny. So agriculture in Tobago has come a long way. And that's the essence of what I'm saying. Yeah? I watched Daddy and Mr. KDs try to build a boat on the beach. It took them so long that some kind of weaver took over the thing and they just had to cancel the project. A lot has happened in agriculture in Tobago. And although many of us sometimes are not satisfied with where we have come and the distance that we have covered over the time, I must congratulate Mrs. Natisha Charles Pantin and Mr. Tate in the Division of Agriculture, and they changed it to Food Security, sorry, for the visionary steps they have taken. Somebody give them a round of applause. Yeah? Moving agriculture from a tedious type of activity to something more scientific. And let me read it from here again. The Tobago Agri-Technology Services. And as I look at Mr. Skeet, wow, you couldn't get away. His father and I played in the estate, and his grandfather and my father tended animals in the estate together. We are in a great place, Tobago. I don't know if that greatest little island thing is catching on, but somehow we are in a great place. And I'm saying that we could only do better. We just need to know what to drop off on the wayside and what we're going to pick up as we go along. That was not a political statement, but I noticed it could be interpreted that way, but that was not my plan. But we have to know what we're going to drop off on the wayside and what we're going to pick up and where we want to go. I came here from a seedling distribution drive I have in my district, where we are giving anybody who cares to 6 seedlings. You come by, you get 6 seedlings, and you're getting them for free. And I'm even showing you how you could use it in the smallest space you have at your home. Food security is serious business. And I must congratulate this team. And I don't think you came to Buku because I had the building here. No, I think you came to Buku because you think this is the best place to start this program. Somebody give me a round of applause. Yeah? I would taper that off by saying every district has its strengths. Yeah? Every district has its strengths, and I have ultimate respect for my teammates from all over the island of Tobago. But when you're in Buku, you can't hear me bragging about nowhere else. Yeah? So, welcome. I know the welcome was done already, but this is my district, so I say welcome again. And I pray that we are all inspired, motivated, and driven to do what we have to do to get us back to the point where we could once again be referred to as rich as a Tobago farmer. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Craig, and we'd acknowledge the presence of our Chief Secretary, Honorable Fali Chavez Augustine, at this time. You may be seated now, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome now Assemblyman Fisher Charles Panton, Secretary of the Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development, to welcome you.
A hearty good morning to everyone. Let me stand on already well-established protocols. Now I have a speech to read, but I think I'm just going to use a few minutes. I'm going to use a few minutes to just have a short discussion with everyone as it relates to food security under the division of one of the most hard-working staff that I have. Yeah. So I'm sure that you would have seen the home gardening unit all the time on Facebook in every village across Tobago. And for the first time, I can say that they have even been in my village, because I tend to ignore myself sometimes, right? But they started in the west first, and they went into the east, right? And then into the north. So you're seeing them all over, even in town. So we can't complain about the home gardening unit, yeah? All right. And I'm extremely proud of that unit, because when I travel to countries, I mean in St. Kitts, in St. Vincent, they're doing well. But every time we have to participate in these food security related events, it comes to me, you know what, we have been doing so much that if we continue to present anything, it would look like if Tobago were advanced across the entire region. Yeah, I'm very serious, right? Because we have organized our farmers in a way that we can manage properly, right? We have those home gardeners, you know, before everything was just jumbled up. You didn't know who was doing home gardening, who doing commercial farming. So we separated that. And now you have 970, am I correct? 970 home gardeners. So you see, you're staying on top of everything, right? 970 home gardeners, right? And we have commercial farmers being treated differently. So we're not bunching up the services anymore. And I'm extremely proud that we are servicing 970 farmers under the home gardening unit. So I want you to give them a round of applause. And they have been serving all the schools, primary, secondary, any school, even the early childhood centers across Tobago. Am I correct? Yes. So they are doing such a good service that I had to single them out. Not that the other departments are doing well, you know. But just listen to the figures, right? You're actually following everything that they're doing on Facebook, and I'm extremely proud of you all. So I'll take you to the history of this building. I used to come to this building a very long time ago as a very young lady. And to see what it was. I mean, when we were using it, it was in a bad condition too, eh? But to see what it has become now and where we want it to go, I'm extremely proud of that as well. And I want you to note that the West is getting some attention. So even though you have the Kendall Farm School, which is now the Tobago Agri-Research Institute, yeah? So you have somewhere in the West now to facilitate all the farmers and fisher folk and all the other stakeholders, yeah? So that in itself is an accomplishment. We have not left you out in the West. And of course, I'm expecting that even though it was the Fisheries Training Center, that all the division staff, the company staff and stakeholders, that you will continue working together. I don't want anybody to feel as if I take it away from fisheries. I don't want to hear that. Because we're just increasing, we're expanding, and that is part of life. Change is part of life. So I'm going to read my speech. It is with a deep sense of purpose and pride that I thank you for being here to celebrate with the division on this occasion, or should I say occasions, where we officially hand over the newly upgraded Agri-Technology Training Center to the Tobago Agri-Technology Services Limited Company, and acknowledge the presentation of letters of intent to the first group of farmers, at least those that are present, under the Friendship Agro Park initiative. Both of these initiatives speak to a larger vision, one that began with a simple yet urgent recognition. If Tobago is to meet the challenges of our time, particularly in agriculture, food security, and climate resilience, then we must transform how we approach these sectors. This facility, formerly known as the Tobago Fisheries Training Center, was left abandoned for almost a decade under the previous administration. Given that Tobago is so farm-centric and fishing-centric, the government of Japan in 2014 gave us this building, this center, but it was left to rot after opening and subsequently became a graveyard for derelict vessels and new vessels that were never meaningfully utilized. When I came into office and saw the state of this center, I knew right away that it couldn't stay that way. We couldn't let a space such as this with so much potential just sit there wasting away. So yes, we fixed it, but more than that, we reimagined what it could be. We didn't just bring it back, we expanded its purpose entirely to meet the current realities of food production. What was once only a fisheries training center will now serve a much wider group of stakeholders across agriculture, fisheries, agro-processing, forestry, and the environment, delivering specialized training and introducing modern innovations to strengthen these vital sectors. Since I took office, I saw the need for a body that could bridge the knowledge gap, address the critical shortage of specialized training, and bring our farmers, fishers, agro-processors, foresters, and beekeepers into the 21st century. A body that would act as a catalyst for long-term agricultural innovation on the island. That need saw the inception of the Tobago Agri-Technology Services Limited, a company formed under the division's mandate to advance agriculture and natural resource management in Tobago. TAGS is my commitment and the division's commitment to the future of agriculture on this island. Through TAGS, we aim to give our producers access to cutting-edge tools, practices, and technologies. We aim to teach the science of farming, the technology of production, and the sustainability practices essential in this era of climate change, rising costs, and global uncertainty. But we knew that training alone wasn't enough. Our producers need not only knowledge, but space, real, well-equipped spaces to practice and thrive. It was from this understanding that the vision for developing an agro-park at Friendship was born. The agro-park emerged through the work of the Mega Farming Development Committee, which was established to develop strategic solutions for increasing local production. Under my stewardship, and with inputs from experts and practitioners, the idea came to create a modern farming hub at the site that would support collaborative farming, encourage innovation, and increase Tobago's capacity to feed itself. While construction of shade houses at Friendship is expected to begin soon, today we will be presenting letters of intent to a group of farmers participating in this initiative. These farmers will be among the first to benefit from the training and capacity building offered at this newly upgraded center. As part of their participation in the AgroPark initiative, they will receive specialized instruction and ongoing support through TAGS, helping them to maximize their potential under this new model of structured, technologically driven farming. The benefits of this AgroPark are far-reaching. At its core, it is about food security, ensuring we can grow more of what we eat and reduce our reliance on imports. But it is also about food sovereignty, taking control of our food systems so that the people of Tobago have consistent access to healthy, nutritious, locally grown produce. Through the training and support systems being put in place, we are laying the foundation for a new era of agriculture in Tobago. One where farmers are not just surviving but thriving. One where the greatest little island on the planet is not just beautiful and abundant, but also self-sufficient, resilient, and inclusive for all. At this time, I would like to announce that the former Assistant Commissioner of Police, Mr. William Nurse, has been co-opted to support the division and its stakeholders with matters of security, which is a long-standing issue that continues to affect our stakeholders' livelihoods. As you see, the division is trying. It's trying its best to work with the limited funding we have. So at this moment, I want to take this opportunity to thank the hardworking team at the Tobago Agri-Technology Services Limited, and I'm not going to leave out the Mega Farming Development Committee, who have worked alongside the division to bring this vision to life. I also express gratitude to the Project Implementation Unit and our contractor, who worked tirelessly to upgrade and prepare this facility for its new role. And let me ensure that I thank the Division of Finance and the Chief Secretary for ensuring that we get money to do everything that we have been doing so far. I am excited for you to see the changes and to envision how far we can go from here. In closing, I affirm my full commitment as Secretary with the support of my Assistant Secretary to continue doing all in my capacity and as much as the budget allows to advance the sector, to support our stakeholders and to fulfill our division's mandate to ensure food security and sustainability for Tobago. Thank you all for being here. Let us continue to work together in the interest of our island, our people, and our future. I thank you.
Thank you, Secretary Charles Panton, for your address and for your continued leadership and advocacy. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure to invite to the lectern the Chief Secretary of Tobago, Honorable Fali Chavez Augustine, to deliver the keynote address.
Thank you very much. You may have a seat. I am conscious of the climatic conditions we are enjoying today. I'm happy that it is sunshine though, because rain tends to cost the THA plenty money. But I'm conscious of the heat and I will be brief in my remarks. But allow me to start by acknowledging the Secretary for the Division of Food Security, Natural Resources and the Environment, Assemblyman Natisha Charles Panton, as well as the Assistant Secretary in the said division, Assemblyman Nigel Tate, a Representative, Mr. Sonny Craig, our Deputy Chief Secretary and other members of the Tobago House of Assembly, Administrator Julian Skeet, Mr. James Trotman, Chairman or Chairperson of the Mega Farming Committee, Ms. Elisa James, Chairman and Directors of the Tobago Agri-Technology Services, Ms. Marissa Carter, General Manager of TAGS, Mr. Carlon Kennedy, President of the Tobago Agro-Processors Association, other special invited guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Well, afternoon at this time. The Tobago Agri-Technology Services Limited was approved by Executive Council in March 2023 and formally launched in January 2024. TAGS aim to drive the modernization of agricultural education and to introduce innovation and innovative farming technologies to Tobago. It is a symbol of our collective commitment to innovation, sustainability, and food security. It is a statement that Tobago is ready to move beyond the limitations of traditional agriculture, fishing, and to embrace the full potential of technology to transform how we grow, how we fish, how we produce, and how we sustain ourselves. The core function of tags spans various domains, including farmer, fisher development, administration and accounting, human resource management, procurement, research and development, and agriculture technology, well, agriculture engineering rather. The newly upgraded Agri-Technology Center will be home of the Tobago Agri-Technology Services Limited, or TAGS. And Secretary Pantin spoke to the genesis of this building. Coincidentally, last week Thursday, I met twice with the Japanese ambassador to this country, and this project was one of the areas of discussion. And fun fact, the Japanese did not just contribute this building, but the soon-to-be open CERT Center at Speyside, that is also being funded by the Japanese people. This facility is designed to produce specialized training for a wide cross-section of stakeholders, including fishers, so fisher folk. Please don't feel as though you have lost the building. In fact, you have gained more. So we're providing training for fishers, for farmers, beekeepers, agro-processors, and practitioners in the forestry sector. Where agro-processors are concerned, you'll be happy to note that one of the projects currently being funded is the project up at Louisdor, where the division will be providing space that meets all international standards, ISO standards and so on, food safety standards, so that agro-processors could just walk into a facility and be able to produce their goods at commercial grade. And that's something we should probably applaud the division for, because it will be first of its kind on the island. This center is a strategic response to the growing need for sustainable, climate-smart food production. It strives to build local capacity and equip producers with the tools and the knowledge to thrive in an evolving agricultural landscape. This center is an investment in our people, particularly our young people. And I want you to appreciate what this kind of investment in people can do. I mean, you've seen the photos of what was, and you will soon see what is. But this investment in our people is so that we can teach our young people that you can self-actualize to more than just a morning walk. That you can self-actualize to more than being employed by the THE. And that we are actively seeking pathways for you that makes you, the individual, autonomous in your own right. Autonomous to the point that you can grow your own businesses, including those in agriculture, which includes fisheries and forestry, and that you can do so sustainably and you can earn from it. And so this investment in our people is one where we recognize that modern tools and technologies are required, that digital precision is required, that data-driven decision making is required, and that being environmentally conscious in Tobago is always required. I'm happy to see here this morning the village council among the specially invited guests, because the village council has to appreciate that there is some measure of ownership for this facility that comes to the community in ensuring that the facility remains intact, and that our people, especially our young people, utilize the facility. We are guilty of providing facilities and providing opportunities, and sometimes people either underappreciate them or underutilize them. And I'll give you a quick story. We had last year some training at the library in Charlottesville for air conditioning. And when I'm going through the village and looking at the training, one person in the training under the age of 40, one person. All the others well seasoned in life. Then I walk out on the streets, all the young men out there liming and having a good time. The point is, this is of no use if it is we are not going to avail ourselves of the opportunities that will come with this facility. And so the area representative, the village council, the churches, the social institutions here, you have a responsibility to ensure that we fully utilize the facility that we have here. But today is also an important day because we are unveiling plans for the Friendship Agro Park initiative, which forms part of our thrust towards mega farming. Now, we recognize that it is difficult to have mega farms on island just because of scarcity of land resources. Mega farms require that we have very large holdings, land holdings. And so what we have done is to co-opt farmers across the island to participate in a mega farming development program. Because we believe that if we have several farms across the island producing same or similar things, then we can in fact achieve the end goal or the end goals of mega farming. We are going to open up the Friendship Estate for the first time. So we're going beyond the road development in Friendship now to looking at opening up Friendship to provide for farmers. And 20 farmers today will be formally presented with letters of intent. Also, they will receive the letters of intent yesterday, yes, it's actually today, which will be signifying their selection to prepare to occupy the designated spaces within the new facility. This is in the Friendship Estate. The same piece of estate that several people want to lay claim to, from Horseman and all other people. It belongs to the people of Tobago, and we are going to start utilization of the estate by providing for farmers in this space. Because of the proximity to the airport, we cannot do traditional terrestrial farming because we can't do any sort of farming that will attract birds because of the flight path. As a result, we are using technology to our advantage, and the THA is developing our first agri-park of this scale and of this size, providing for 20 farmers, some of whom would have received letters of intent to utilize space in Friendship before we came into office. But we did the work, we surveyed the lands, the contract is about to be awarded if it wasn't awarded as yet. So I know the tendering was completed so that we could have technologically driven farms in Friendship, led by 20 farmers right here in Tobago. We're putting in the infrastructure and we're building out all that is required for our farmers. And I think this is an important step towards having food security and food sovereignty. You know, last week I met with the Minister with responsibility for the port. And why were we having this meeting? Simply because the cargo boat will be down for 21 days from July 12th. And we find ourselves in this cycle every single year having to find a solution when the boat must go on dry dock. And the question is, what are we going to do to ensure that we produce a lot more of what we consume on island? It means that we have to target our farmers, and we also have to target our agro-processors and ensure that they can produce to the extent that we reduce Tobago's import bill, including our import bill from neighboring Trinidad. And it's not that we don't enjoy spending our monies at businesses in Trinidad, but we have to ensure that Tobago achieves food security to the extent that we can have a predictable source of healthy foods regardless of the circumstances. Finally, where we are going with technology-driven farming is where we need to go as an island. As a small island, we are at the mercies of climate change. We will never be able to control, well, we might be able to predict it, but we'll never be able to control the volumes of rainfall we will get or sunshine we will get, whether the dry season will be too wet or too dry. Those are elements we can no longer control because of climate change. What we have to do is use technology to our advantage. And that's why this facility is important. That's why tags is important. And that's why this type of farming is important. That's why we have to retrain and retool our fishers so that they can maximize use of resources in our waters. And yes, I know that there are squabbles over waters elsewhere. For us in Tobago, we will mind our business and focus on the maritime space that belongs to Tobago and ensure our fishers and our people are well equipped to maximize use of the resources that are available to us. And yes, we are including our beekeepers who for far too long have been in the shadows. And that's a very important industry for us to pay attention to as well. I wish to end by congratulating the hard-working staff of this division. All of you who sweat very long hours. I have one charge against you, which is that when I came into office, the home gardening units used to be stationed quite prominently and frequently at my residence to assist me with my gardening projects there. Now I see them all over the island. I don't know who tell them to take them and send them all over the place, but they're all over the place helping everybody else, but that's okay. That's very well okay, because the intent is not for you to service the residents of the Chief Secretary, but to service the people of Tobago. So congratulations to you on your hard work. Congratulations to the administrator, and congratulations to the secretary and the assistant secretary for your hard work. And we look forward to the recommissioning of this facility. I look forward to the handing out of the letters of intent to the 20 farmers and the administrator as soon as possible. Please pay your mobilization and get your contractors moving on these projects. Please and thanks. I don't want to have to pick up the phone and say, monies were sent to the division and you're still in move yet. So move, put the monies where they belong and let the farmers have access to the lands, because these lands in fact belong to the people of Tobago. Thank you, and God's richest blessing.
Thank you, Honorable Chief Secretary, for reminding us that initiatives such as this truly transform communities. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we move into the presentation of letters of intent, symbolizing tangible steps forward in this renewed journey. At this time, I'd hand over to Mrs. Tamika Manzano of the division.
hope it can go down low enough. Good morning, everyone. I am Tamika Seals Manzano. I am the director with the Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development. I am a director of food crop production within the Department of Agriculture, to which the home gardening unit belongs. I too adopt the protocol that has already been so well established, and we now move into the distinct pleasure of presenting our first cohort in the Division of Food Security's Friendship Agro-Park project. To that end, I will now ask Mr. Julian Skeet, Administrator, to stand by. And as I call the names of the persons, I'd like them to enter on my right, as they come forward to accept their letters of intent. In the middle. Oh, yeah. Where better for you? All right, thank you very much, Mr. Skeet. Mr. Skeet is our administrator in the Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development. And we are asking to come forward. I'll call all the names quickly so that persons get themselves ready to come forward. Miss Venus Orr, Mr. Omari Davis, Miss Akila Jack. Okay. All right. So because my hands are so very small, that's why they put this inside my hands to do. It's a very small amount of persons, so I'm going to call all the names forward, and we are going to present you with your letters of intent. So Miss Venus Orr. Yes. And that Mr. Omari Davis. So you're going to stand and just hold at the side there. Thank you. Mr. Omari Davis, Miss Akila Jack, Mr. Colin Best, Miss Trisha Baldi. And while they come, I'm going to ask the Secretary for the Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development, and our Chief Secretary to also come forward. No, they're staying one time. They're staying one time. It's too small? Okay, sorry. All right. Secretary. Anthony, Mr. Best. I didn't. Yes. Yes, just hold on. No. Mr. Best. Just join us on this side a minute. Just join us on this side a minute.
Pardon?
Just join us on this side a minute.
No. He didn't call it.
He didn't call it?
No.
Oh, this is Mr. Colin Best. He's one of our recipients today.
I think everybody knows Colin. Colin did do a lot of composting as well. So this is something definitely needed at the Agro Park, and of course you'll have packing house services as well.
Okay. All right. We're calling forward Miss Chanel Braffett. Miss Chanel Braffett. And following her would be Mr. Leandro Summers. And then Miss Janelle Berkeley. Stand by. So Mr. Leandro Thomas. Next. Miss Janelle Berkeley is now coming forward. And she'll be followed by Mr. Simon Neptune and then Mr. Joel Jofield. So Mr. Simon Neptune. And Mr. Joel Jofield. Thank you very much, Secretary Pantin. And as we go through the final set, I'm going to ask our Chief Secretary to come forward to assist us in the final set of distribution of letters. So first up, we have Ms. Trisha Baldi. She will be followed by Mr. O.J. Alexander. And Mr. O.J. Alexander will be followed by Mr. Carl Harris Dillon and Ms. Chantel Sampson. So Mr. Carl Harris Dillon. And Ms. Chantel Sampson. And she will be followed by Mr. Edmund Joseph and then Mr. Kyle Morgan. And to Mr. Edmund Joseph. And finally, just for today, we have Mr. Kyle Morgan. So I want to thank the Chief Secretary for his assistance and of course for meeting my short hands halfway. So ladies and gentlemen, I now turn you back over to the chairperson who will take us through the rest of the proceedings.
Thank you, Tamika, and we extend our heartfelt congratulations to all of the recipients. So at this time, we'd just like to correct a statement made earlier. The training center was actually established in 2003 and not 2014 with support from the government of Japan. Now to bring formal closure to today's program, please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Marcia Carter, General Manager of TAGS, to share the vote of thanks.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Thank you. Thank you. Please permit me to stand on protocols already established. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have witnessed a significant milestone in Tobago's agricultural journey with the presentation of letters of intent to our participating farmers. This bold collaboration between the Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development, and our esteemed stakeholders symbolizes not only their commitment, but our shared dedication to transforming agriculture, especially through the introduction and advancement of shade house production. Additionally, in short order,
we will also witness the recommissioning of the refurbished Agri-Technology Training Center. This facility now stands poised to serve as a hub for continuous training, demonstration, and the application of modern and appropriate technologies. Ladies and gentlemen, it is here that knowledge will be imparted, skills will be refined, and future generation of farmers will be empowered to lead the growth and sustainability of Tobago's agricultural sector. These accomplishments would not have been possible, however, without the steadfast leadership, vision, and support of several key individuals and institutions. Therefore, at this juncture, I wish to formally acknowledge and extend heartfelt appreciation to, first of all, the Honorable Farley Augustine, Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly, for his visionary leadership and unwavering advocacy for food security and agricultural development on our island. Sir, Sir, your overarching vision for Tobago continues to inspire and to guide the work of this division. To the Secretary of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development, Assemblyman Natisha Charles Panton, for her dynamic leadership and strategic foresight. Secretary, your unwavering commitment has transformed innovative concepts into tangible achievements, and we thank you. The area representative for Buku Mount Pleasant, Assemblyman Sonny Craig, we thank you today for your presence and for your support. We look forward to working with you as area representative and as well as the persons of the Buku area as we advance agriculture. To Mr. Julian Skeet, our administrator of the division, whose consistent administrative oversight and dedication has been instrumental to the successful execution of these initiatives, we say thank you. Next, let me recognize the Mega Farming Committee under the very capable chairmanship of Mr. James Trotman. We thank you, committee members, for your expertise, your diligence, and collaborative spirit. Your efforts have been integral to bringing this vision to fruition. Well done. Ms. Elisa James, Chairman and the Board of Directors of Tobago Agri-Technology Services, for your steadfast governance and ongoing commitment to advancing Tobago's agricultural sector through the use of cutting-edge technology. We recognize you. Mr. Carlon Kennedy, President of the Agro-Processors Association, thank you, sir, for your participation today. Your presence reflects your organization's commitment to bridging the gap between agricultural production and consumption, an effort that significantly contributes to food security, economic resilience, and improved livelihoods across Tobago. Most importantly, they're over there, I extend sincere gratitude to our participating farmers. Your willingness to embrace new methods and technologies lies at the heart of this initiative. Your commitment ensures its sustainability and long-term success. We look forward to working with you. Finally, I would like to recognize the dedicated efforts of the event organizers, the staff of the division, the staff of TAGS, members of the media, and all stakeholders who played a part in making today's launch a resounding success. In closing, I urge all stakeholders to continue working collaboratively with a shared vision and unified purpose. Let us ensure that agriculture remains a cornerstone of Tobago's economic development, our food security, and a sustainable future.
thank you once again, and may today mark the beginning of many more milestones on our journey towards agricultural excellence.
Thank you, Ms. Carter, for wrapping up on such a thoughtful note. At this time, our dignitaries will be escorted to take a group photo with our recipients. Thereafter, we would have the official ribbon cutting and the site tour. After the site tour, refreshments will be served. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all once again for being here with us today, and do enjoy the remainder of your day.